Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. We've got an absolutely fascinating one for you today. We are going to unpack the incredible life and really the rigorous scientific methodology of Osman, a man you might know better as the Blind Muslim Yogi. We're going to explore his insane story of sheer resilience and look at how he's distilled decades of intense study into a super simplified approach to wellness. Okay, let's just jump right into this with a massive, mind-bending question. How does a person go from grueling door-to-door sales failures to suddenly making millions in commercial real estate, only to pivot completely away from all of that to become a master-level bioenergy healer? Tracing Osman's path is basically a modern hero's journey, and we're going to see exactly how these two totally opposite worlds collided.
Section 1. The Blind Muslim Yogi.
To really get who Osman is, you have to look at his timeline. It is full of these wild pendulum swings. He was born in South Africa in 1968 and was drawn to deep, complex philosophical study by age 7. But the real turning point, the big one, happens in May 2023 when he permanently loses his eyesight. Now, you might notice if you watch his videos, he uses incredibly vivid visual descriptions, and that's simply because he's drawing from 54 rich years of having perfectly normal eyesight before going blind. Rather than letting that devastating loss defeat him, he actually used it as a catalyst to launch a massive mission to share his knowledge with the rest of us.
And that brings us to the core of his life's work, what he explicitly calls his scientific methodology. He has essentially dedicated his entire life to simplifying super complex ancient yoga protocols. He emphasizes that a lot of our modern illnesses are really just a result of modern lifestyles that completely deplete our natural energies. His protocols are designed to replenish that energy, which can boost your immunity naturally by up to 90%. And to make this totally accessible to anyone, he offers a free 5-minute yoga and meditation program right on his website, yogawellness786.com.
All right, Section 2. The dual pursuits. Osman didn't just wake up a master. Actually, as a young boy, he failed math multiple times. It was during that struggle that his mother taught him a really pivotal lesson about grit. She told him this story about a spider that failed to spin its web 7 times and only finally succeeded on the 8th try. She challenged him, saying, you must at least try to be better than a spider. And that one fundamental lesson pushed him to overcome some severe academic hurdles. He eventually went on to excel in both medical and law studies, before ultimately abandoning both to follow his true calling.
So, for decades, he's literally living this intense dual life. On the business side of things, he endured 6 brutal years of door-to-door sales failures, sometimes barely able to afford food. But eventually, he breaks through and starts brokering massive 5-star hotel deals in Dubai. Meanwhile, and this is the wild part, on the spiritual side, he was reading massive encyclopedias of yoga by age 10. He was teaching adult classes at 12. He attained the deep meditative state of samadhi by 19, and he was maintaining up to 18 hours a day of rigorous spiritual practice. He built an unparalleled level of mental endurance.
Moving on to Section 3, Mastering Energy and Science. Getting to this level of mastery took nearly 50 years of relentless study across all sorts of different schools of thought. Osman is a master-level bioenergy healer, and he utilizes highly advanced applications of quantum physics and entanglement. Today, he specializes in critical care and terminal illness recovery. Now, he makes this absolutely clear: his work is a complementary service. It's meant to enhance modern medical care, not replace it. And his remarkably high success rate, along with his relatively high treatment fees for his premium one-on-one services, well, those are the direct result of decades of grueling 18-hour daily practice. Now, I know a 90% recovery rate sounds completely wild, but Osman insists it's actually totally normal once you truly understand natural energy. People are just generally unaware of this type of healing. He explains that conditions like cancer are often the result of modern lifestyle depletion. When you follow his protocols, your natural energy improves, which powerfully boosts your immunity by 90% naturally, giving the body what it needs to begin reversing severe ailments. Section 4. Surviving Health Crises. Osman's understanding of profound illness isn't just theory out of a book. It was forged in the fires of his own extreme medical emergencies. He faced conditions that would break almost anyone. He was insulin dependent for 10 years. At just 38 years old, he suffered 3 major heart attacks, and doctors literally gave him 6 months to live. Fast forward a bit, he endured a massive nervous system collapse in 2018 and even had to heal his own brain tumor. He miraculously reversed these terminal-level diagnoses by removing massive life stressors and rigorously applying his natural yoga and whole food protocols.
He's actually been completely off medication for the last 20 years. But then came the hardest physical challenge of all. While he successfully healed his heart and his brain, his eyesight began to fail. First the left eye, then the right. And despite having access to the absolute best medical care, in May 2023, he permanently lost his sight. It was, as you can imagine, a devastating blow. But remember that lesson about the spider? Rather than stopping him, this profound loss catalyzed his ultimate life pivot.
Section 5. The 5-Minute Healing Mission. So, stripped of his sight, but holding on to this lifetime of wisdom and the financial resources from his real estate days, Osman took his relentless entrepreneurial drive and aimed it at giving his scientific yoga protocols to the world. In his adult life, that childhood story of the spider kind of evolved into the inspiration of Thomas Edison. Osman refused to quit when his initial attempts to share his message online completely flopped. He had to figure out content creation as a newly blind person with zero technical support, treating every failure as just another step closer to finding the way that would work. Check out this staggering number, 950. That is how many YouTube videos Osman produced in just over 7 months once he hit his stride. He also published over 200 podcast episodes under the name The Blind Muslim Yogi, which you can find on Apple Podcast and Spotify. He gives all of his unique advice and techniques away completely for free on his YouTube and podcast channels. For those who want deeper, one-on-one access, he does offer paid live daily videos, consults, and group sessions exclusively on his Patreon. But his main mission, it's simply to spread this message for the benefit of society, and he uses his business acumen to basically outwork everyone else to make that happen. So what exactly is the core of all this massive output? Well, he has managed to distill 50 years of incredibly complex study into a remarkably simple, highly effective daily routine. Step 1, simple yoga postures to clear out physical blockages. Step 2, mindfulness practices to center the brain. And Step 3, a foundation of breath work to energize the chakras. The best part is, you don't need to dedicate 18 hours a day to this. Remember, you can go download his free 5-minute yoga and meditation program right now at yogawellness786.com. Also, if you want to support his mission, be sure to like and subscribe to his YouTube channel and follow his podcast on Spotify to help him reach more people. Which leaves us with a pretty provocative question. I mean, from a struggling student to a real estate mogul, from facing terminal illness to achieving master-level healing, Osman has proven that sheer tenacity can overcome almost anything. His ultimate goal is to revive an ancient science that improves our health, our peace, our relationships, and even our finances. The tools to reclaim your natural energy are freely available. It's really just up to you to take those first 5 minutes. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I highly encourage you to go check out his free resources, and I'll catch you in the next one.